God, I love every interaction that they have. You're not allowed to be pretty and kill people. I know this is gonna end. I don't know where this is going. No idea. Welcome back to my channel. If you do not know who I am, hello. My name is Christina. This is my book channel. If you are not new here, I love you so much. You're my only friend. So I am in a mental slump right now, and I'm also in a book slump. I'm trying to finish so many books and it's just not working. We're gonna be reading fantasy romance for the week. Why? Because if you know, you know. Listen, I don't need a relationship. I don't want one because, you know, fictional men are better. That's just a fact. And the relationships in YA romance, they have the best relationships. Someone mentioned the word yearn and it immediately clicked. I was like, oh my God, that's what it is. And it's the yearning in these books, and I need it. I need it. So we have Assistant to the Villain, which just came out. I didn't know anything about this in terms of like its backstory of how it was made. I think this was like one of those TikTok books. I read like 60 pages of it and I put it down because I felt like I needed to experience this like on camera because it was so funny. This book is so funny and the relationship is amazing. I am personally a very quirky person, born that way, born quirky. Before quirky was cool, I was born that way. She's quirky and I love her sense of humor, and he gives off, if you've seen my book haul, I talked about this. He is giving Megamind vibes and also like Flynn Rider, but like with the appearance of Damon. And I just love that combination so much. Then we have Powerless, which Peyton, Prince, Hunger Games, love. I don't know much more than that, but I hear the yearning in this is fantastic. And I really like the cover. I don't know, I just want to eat it. And then we have my favorite book of all time, which this one is not going to be spoiler free, because if you have read this book, if you know anything about me, you know this is my favorite book of all time. All time. And I really want to share why I like it and like the bits and pieces within it that make it my favorite book, like certain lines, certain behaviors, and like what really made me love it so much. Yeah, let's get on into it. Sorry for the long intro, but I haven't talked to anyone for a while. Besides my parents and my brother and Benji. And then I talked to some ladies at the library, which was so nice. But they had a job to do, and they told me, they're like, okay, have a nice day. I was like, so yeah, let's start with Assistant to the Villain. If you don't know, I'll gladly tell you about it. He's a really bad guy. But no one has seen his face. No one knows what this man looks like, and he has like these ugly wanted posters, kind of like how Flynn Rider, he has all of those wanted posters that are just not right. Our main girl, she's in the woods. She just got fired and she really needs a job. She needs a job so bad because her family does not know that she does not have a job. So she's in the woods. I don't remember why. And then literally like the beginning of Tangled, where this man is like running through the woods. They run into each other and she's like, oh my God, like what's going on? He grabs her, gets down, and he's like, shut up. And she's like, excuse me. She then realizes how handsome he is. And so they end up running, getting chased by these guards. And then somehow she trips. He's like, I'll help you up. And then she's like, oh my God, wait, you're gonna help me up? And then he offers her a job. There's a little bit more that happens in between, but my camera's about to die. There is a frog. They were chasing him for a frog named Kingsley, and he has a crown. So I'm gonna say right now, did that make sense? I hope so. I'm gonna read I'm on page 60. That's what's happened so far. And now I'll check in at page like 120 with some updates and maybe some quotes, because this book is so funny. So yeah, I'll be back. This lighting's different. Okay, my dog had the zoomies, so I chased him around like a ghoul with like my arms up. I looked like the green ghoul from Scooby-Doo. So I'm on page 81 and someone is trying to kill the villain, and his name is also the Villain. Like that's his villain name, is the Villain. So I don't know if I talked about this, but she has a little bit of a crush on the villain because he's handsome. And it was funny because when she first met him, she was like, you're the villain? Like, you're not allowed to be pretty and kill people. It's like, it's confusing. Someone, a part of his team, is sabotaging him, like leaking information. I personally think it's the frog. Hi, Benji! Look how cute he is. Their romance is so cute. They're like total opposites of each other, but they have the same sense of humor. When they're together, it feels like it's just the two of them. The two of us. And it really makes me laugh because she's so awkward. I swear, she digs herself into some sort of hole every time she opens her mouth. It's so funny. She almost started crying and he literally like pulled back and he was like, are you crying? He was like disgusted, horrified. She's like, no, I have a condition where my tear ducts produce an excess of warm, salty water when I'm tired or in distress. That's clever. I like that. Okay, I'll be back later. Hi, honey. Oh my god. Please don't mind my hair. So this is definitely more romantasy than fantasy romance because the plot is definitely an afterthought, or maybe the plot isn't super strong in my personal opinion, but I mean, I'm not complaining because I love romance. But in case you are like me and you didn't know the history behind the book, you didn't follow the book talker that created this book, but the villain, he's so subtle and I love that. He's not one to do like big grand gestures. I'm thinking of a few things. It's so cute. Oh, he has such a soft spot for Sage and he hates it, but he's sort of accepting it. I'm curious to see who the mole is. I, for some reason, was like, oh my god, it's the frog. It feels like it could be a number of people, but I don't know. Okay, that's all I gotta say right now. I'll see you way later. Stop. The ending. I love the ending so much. Evie, my queen. I would say like no one harm her. I think she can handle herself. Dude, I can't wait for the next book to come out. It kind of sucks that I read it so... I thought it was a standalone. So I didn't think it was gonna be a series. Damn, I'm gonna probably have to wait like a year and a half till it comes out. Damn. 4.75 stars. This is so entertaining. I loved everything that played out. It was perfect. Perfect. I'm so excited to see where this goes. I don't know what series this reminds me of, or I don't know what it reminds me of. If you haven't checked this out, I'd recommend it. And I feel so much better after reading that. I look deathly ill. I'm just pale all year round. Powerlit. I already explained what this was about, so let's just dive right on into it. Okay, so I'm on page 44 of the other book, Powerless. Because I have the attention span of like a grape, I'm gonna be listening to an audiobook in the meantime.
Macmillan Audio presents The Shadows Between Us.
Why is this book so long? Oh, it's a Slytherin romance? Ew! Not them quoting the Vampire Diaries. Her dad is like trying to give her advice on how to like seduce the Shadow King. And then she's like, have you ever seduced a man, father? And he's like, oh, of course not. And then she's like,
then why would I seek your advice?
She's so real for that. She's so real for that. Oi, oi, oi. Okay. This is so random. And it's currently, I don't even know if you can see that. It's 8:53. I didn't read much today. Well, no, that's a lie. I didn't read any more Powerless. As soon as I came back to my parents' place, I started talking on the phone with Jillian, and then we just read the first book in the Mindfuck series. That was 132 pages. I'm gonna listen to more of The Shadow, what is this called? The Shadow Between Us. I actually don't hate it. It's like not bad, but not good. You know? And the outfits are weird. Like she like wears a dress and then she has pants under it, and I guess that's like the style, but I can't picture that in a way for it to be stylish. And then she says that like she's showing off her legs, and she's like, also the King of Shadows is so funny, like in such a cliche way. I don't even know what's happening. She's like slowly making friends, and I didn't even realize that her plan was to like take down the Shadow King, like murder him. So that's that. He's interested, I think, also trying to solve a murder, his parents' murder. Also trying to solve his parents' murder. And he's like keeping everyone captive that was there the night of the murder, besides our main girl, whose name I cannot recall. I don't know where this is going. No idea, actually. Because it's kind of reminding me of Bella in a strange way, sorta. It's reminding me of Belladonna, which I personally didn't like. It has that same kind of atmosphere. Imagine like the intro of the Scooby-Doo Where Are You? But also like House of Anubis. There's so much left of this book. There's like 8 hours. Why? Just folds. I swear I've never met a dog so cuddly in my life. Like he'll just sit so contently in my arms, like in my lap. Well, not, that's a bad example. Don't mind that. Made me look bad. Oh my god, it's been blurry this whole time. Now this Shadow Between Us, I gave it 3.5 stars. So the characters at the very beginning, we have, oh, what's her name? But our main girl, she is trying to get married to the Shadow King so that she can kill him. Like that's the goal at the very beginning, so she could kill him. But then she folds so fast, like a cheap lawn chair. Both the main characters, they didn't have any likable qualities. Our main girl gave me a major ick, but she just seemed like, I'm not like other girls. She just had like a really huge ego. Also very wishy-washy. Very wishy-washy. This is not an enemies to lovers. They were never even enemies. Wants to kill him for like 2 minutes, and then that plot kind of goes out the window, and you don't even hear about it until like very end of the book, and you're like, oh yeah, I forgot she wanted to do that. But the story, it went by so fast, and it felt like I was just kind of like surfing over the entire book. It only dipped to like shallow water. It didn't like dive any deeper. You didn't really get to know any of the characters, and they didn't really have any sort of distinct personality traits where you could really like differentiate like who was who. I feel like if I was reading it, like physically reading the book, I feel like I might have DNF'd it. Listening to it, the narrator was really good. She was reading so enthusiastically. So if you're going to read this book, I recommend the audiobook. Now let's get on into Powerless, because it's only 5:26. So there is still plenty of time. I need more coffee though. I know my eyes are probably floating all over the place. I'll be back. Boop. All ordinaries are sentenced to be executed if found, no matter what. That's nuts. That's terrible. It literally makes no sense. That's so frustrating. That is so frustrating. Like, just because they don't have a power, that means they have to be executed. Because they're an ordinary human being. And it's a little girl. Maybe she doesn't get executed, I don't know. This is so random, but I'm honestly just trying to finish as many books as humanly possible for me. I'm now reading Hush Hush, well, listening to Hush Hush when I like do other things, because I wanted to read this for so long, and it is a fantasy romance. When I looked up online of like books that have romances with like the best yearning or something along those lines, this book popped up, and I had to hold on it for a while, so I'm gonna listen to this. Only when I'm not reading the other book. I think I'm gonna cut Heartless and put it in a different video so it can have its own little thing, which will be like obviously just full of spoilers. So yeah, I'm only on page like 133 of the other book, and I love it so much. I love it so much. But also Kai is fighting in the Purge trials, which I didn't think he was, but I guess they're working together. Also, she makes me want to get an Olive Green vest. I guess I could talk about this book a little. Here's what the cover looks like. Doo -doo -doo. Oh, it's a series. Okay. Is right in the middle of an ancient battle between the immortal and those that have fallen, and when it comes to choosing sides, the wrong choice will cost her life. Oh my god, this came out in 2009. I was but a young baby. Alright, see you soon. Okay, turns out when I started this, I was not on page 133. I was on page 78. I don't know why I thought I was further than I was. But now I'm on page 150. When people say the tension in this book is so thick, you could easily cut it with like a butter knife. I don't know if that makes any sense. Kai and Peyton? Oh my god. I am giddy over here. Why? God, I love every interaction that they have. It is... It's so good. It's so good. And the writing is impeccable. It's impeccable. It's genius. I love it so much. If you are looking for any YA romances out there, and if you have not picked this up, it's actually really good. And she's iconic. She's giving me, listen, I don't have a lot to compare to. I haven't read like, you know, hundreds of books. But in my mind, because she also has silver hair, so it reminds me of girl from Throne of Glass, something that either starts with the C or S. I don't know, but it reminds me of her. And also, like, she has the same determination, but she has a sense of humor, and I like her so much. The witty comebacks are so perfectly timed. This is exactly what I needed. Exactly what I needed. This feels like the relationship that should have happened between Xaden and Violet in The Fourth Wing. If their relationship was like this, so much better. Cannot. I'm over here squealing like a little girl. Oh my god. Stop. I'm weak in the knees. She's like distracting him. And then he's like, what are you doing, Gray? And then she's like distracting. And then he goes, darling, you're gonna have to do better than that. And she says, no, I don't think I do. I love their relationship so much. I literally don't think my heart can handle when shit hits the fan. I know this is gonna end. Which makes my heart break. But it's fine. It's fine. I'm gonna enjoy the time that they have together until shit hits the fan. I don't know, maybe he'll be understanding. Maybe everything's gonna be okay. Probably not. I don't know what's wrong with me. I can't cry, but if I could cry, my heart, oh my god. This author knows what's up, knows the genre, knows what people want, because the yearning in this, on another level. This made me feel more than anything ever. This is 5 stars. 5 stars hands down. Like, this could be like, you know, when people go like, oh, a 6 star. Yeah, this could be like my 20 star. I love this book so much. The dynamic at the end, my god. I think it was page like 429. I think it's page 429. I am just gonna throw page 429 out there, because when I tell you, screamed my heart out. I was over here, my dog was like, are you okay? Because I screamed so much. I was squealing like a little girl. I don't know what to do anymore. I knew I was gonna love this, but I did not. I didn't expect it. Oh my god, especially if you listen to like an enemies to lovers, anything of that sort kind of playlist while you're reading it. Oh my god, just okay, real quick, I'm gonna talk about Hush Hush because I did not even talk about that, which I also really liked, and I'm gonna continue the series because I loved Hush Hush. So I only read Percy Jackson once when I was like 10. Loved the movies. I did not continue the books, but that nostalgic feel, like the way that that's written, which I mean also Hush Hush did come out in like 2009, I think. It came out so long ago, so I understand like it just has that older YA, classic YA to me, because that's what I read when I was younger. That kind of feel, which I loved. You know, some things that were said, I was like, oh, I mean, clearly we wouldn't, it's a little outdated, but nonetheless, it was quite interesting. And the ending, I mean, I kind of wish it had an ending like this. I'm excited to see where that series goes. I feel like I'm just gonna really enjoy it. It was really giving, oh, what I was saying earlier. ADHD brain. What I was saying earlier about it reminding me of Percy Jackson, mainly because it feels like, I'm just gonna go based on the movie because I don't remember the book. There was a lot of people hiding in plain sight that he knew that were part of this Olympian god, demigod world. This book feels like a lot of people are hiding in plain sight. Once you understand like what's going on and everyone's like facade kind of cracks, it's so much fun. Okay, I'm gonna finish The Coldest Girl in Cold Town. Which honestly, let's talk about that real quick. I know this is just gonna be a huge rant, but Coldest Girl in Cold Town. It's about vampires. I don't even know if I even talked about it. It starts out with like a massacre happening at this college party, and she wakes up and she's like, oh my god, everyone's dead. Vampires are among them, but they kind of have them quarantined. They have them stay if they're infected. So if you're bitten, you have around like 48 hours until you really start like going nuts. Well, I guess there's something about the 48-hour mark that I can't remember, but if you hit 88 days, and if you survive 88 days, then you're good. You can go out in the normal, you beat the infection, which is so specific. She has a terrible ex-boyfriend, Listen, there's a minute where I felt sympathy for this man. His name is Aiden. He sucks. She saw her ex-boyfriend Aiden tied up, and then she saw this other vampire dude. And then so she saves them. Vampire dude is a legendary vampire and Aiden is infected, and they're trying really hard, so hard to not let him drink blood. People are doing the most. For what reason, I don't know. I mean, I get it because it's like, damn, you know, we made it this far. Stick out a little bit longer, my guy. I think I'm at like 70% of the way done. I'm just gonna go listen to the rest of it. For some reason, I feel like these characters should not even be in a relationship because there is no chemistry. Number one, no chemistry. And it's quite random. It's like these two like, oh, man, female, let's just have them have a romantic interest in one another. So yeah, I will check back in at the very end because I think that's the last book because I have been taking my sweet time reading this. And I was supposed to read 2 other books, but Heartless is just gonna be a separate reading vlog. I think I'm just gonna do Defy the Night with its other companion books. I will see you in a little bit. This shirt, I hate the shirt because the arms are so tight. So I always feel like... So I finished The Coldest Girl in Cold Town. I gave it 3 stars. There were elements of it that I liked so much, but there were also parts that were really boring. The ending though, I really liked the ending. I don't wish there was like a second book, but I kind of wish there was like a little novella to see how she manages and if she, you know, comes out unscathed, you know, how her relationship is with everybody. So yeah. I don't know if I'd recommend reading it, maybe listening to it. Like, I wouldn't go out of my way to try and read this book. Yeah, that is gonna be all for today's video. Realistically, I actually read 7 books, but technically I read 5 YA fantasy books. We're gonna ignore those other 2 books. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you very, very soon for more reading vlogs. I hope you have a good day or night wherever you are, and I will see you soon. Bye!